Streisand.
Hey guys, it's Jonah here, and it's Homebrew Wednesday. And for a change, I've actually got a fucking homebrew. Come on, drink to the homebrew. This one is a very, very old one. It's called Hair of the Cat, and I only found this when we moved. Look how dark that is. It's a stout, and I made this. I think it's an Edmay stout, if I remember right. I put some black treacle in. I put some extra dark liquid malt extract in, and there were a few cat hairs went in, hence the name. And it's really sweet and kind of nutty. The way a stout should be. It's probably about, that's about 2 years old, 2.5 years old. So it's getting there. It's conditioned just about. Zippy Viking, hey, you'd have probably left this for another year, but unfortunately I need the bottles, I need the space, so I'm drinking up my stock. Check that bad boy out. Looks good, and the head retention's pretty good as well. And they always say if you leave a beer a bit longer, the head retention gets better. Little bit too carbonated, perhaps for a normal stout, but I mean I'm happy with that. Tastes good, 5%. No worries. Now, had a good week, and a bad week. Well, no, you know, we have good and bad in our lives, don't we, guys? I went down to Twickenham Fine Ales, did a bit of shooting, so watch out for that video. Pardon me. Told you it was carbonated. Yeah, I met their head brewer, Stuart, who I spoke to on the phone. And yeah, it's really interesting what they've been doing. Well, on the video you'll hear, but they've had a collaboration with another brewery to bottle their beers, because they basically, bottling is a right arsehole. If you've got a machine that can do it, come on, saves a lot of time. If you're hand bottling, well, we as homebrewers know bottling is a right bastard. Excuse me, drink break. Anyway, one of the things he said, and it was off camera, so this is a bit of an exclusive. You'll only get the exclusives on Homebrew Wednesday. He said that the brewery also did a few swaps. And like homebrewers, I'd swap maybe a couple of bottles with you, and you'd send me a couple of bottles. Breweries do it a bit different. So they sent, I think it was 2 or 3 kegs. So that's what, 80 pints in each, or 88 pints in each. So that's like 250 pints, say, roughly. They're swapping. And basically he was keeping these couple, he only had a couple left. In his cold storage, just for shits and giggles, for lack of a better word. But it's interesting to see that people who deal with beer, whether they're a head brewer of a brewery or whether they're a home brewer, generally do the same kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Swap a few beers. The process is exactly the same. Obviously they've got slightly different equipment. Hey, and we all got different equipment, eh? But yeah, I mean, the guy there, and I've forgotten the other guy's name. It was Stuart, and it was a guy called Ben, but I don't think he was in that day. And then there was Dave, I think it was, not sure. But all the guys down there were cool. I felt a bit like, oh, should I be back here? And he was like, yeah, man, come on, check it out. And he said, come down for a brew day sometime soon. So, hey, that's really cool. I think Grant has also been down there. He was saying that he went and picked up some bottles of the new Naked Ladies, and I've got a couple of bottles that they gave me. But they're setting up a shop, so I think it starts first week in November. If you rock up, there's going to be a shop there, and they've got a bar, so you'll be able to drink some beers and buy some beers, and you know, random merchandise and stuff. So yeah, if you're in Richmond, Twickenham, or anywhere around there, hey, good days, good times. And the Twickenham Beer Festival was last weekend, which unfortunately I was working. I was weeking? No, I was working. So that was one of my main downers, was that I couldn't go to the beer festival because I was fucking working, man. Working for the man for a pittance and not being able to afford any beers. Anyway, 'tis Homebrew Wednesday. Life is good, and I hope you guys out there, your lives are doing good too. I know they are. We've all got a drink in our hand. It's Homebrew Wednesday. You know, life is good. As Craig says, if you've got a beer in your hand, life is good. Now, one of the other things was, have a look at this. Yep, that is my elderberry wine, and man, the ferment's going pretty poor. Yeah, I think the yeast has given out, dude. I mean, I might have to redo the yeast. I followed the instructions near enough on the packaging, and one of the annoying things was it said to mix your sugar in and only add like 2 litres of water, which brought it up to about 3, maybe 3 litres, just over 3 litres in total. So if I took an OG reading then and there, later on, after the initial ferment kicks off, I'm adding some more water to it. So my readings will be off. So I won't know how alcoholic it is. You Brew from Young's, you need to sort that shit out, guys. I don't like Young's. I think I've said it before on camera. If I go to a Young's pub, and Young's, I live in London, man, everyone should love Young's, but no, I don't like it. If I go to a Young's pub, I'll have the Guinness or the oatmeal stouts, whatever it is, but I won't touch their beers. Young's Special, I don't get on with it, man. Don't know why. So yeah, I think that bilberry wine is fucked, and it's a shame because I've got a lot of the equipment for doing wine. I've got the shrink caps, I've got the corks, I've got some cages for champagne if I'm going to do a fizzy wine. But yeah, it seems like my first brew back on the game has fucked up. Anyway, hopefully I'll bung some other yeast in and we'll see how it is next week, guys. Oh, gotta love a homebrew, huh? Yeah, and one of the other things we were having a bit of a debate about on we've got a I shouldn't really be telling you this, but hey, it's Homebrew Wednesday, so I'll give away some of the exclusives. We've got to set up a little group on the chat from Facebook, is it? Something like that. And sometimes people are on there of a night and we'll have a bit of a chat. And yeah, it came up about lighting. A lot of people were talking about what, you know, if I'm making videos, if I'm making Homebrew Wednesdays, or if I'm making beer reviews or whatever, what sort of equipment do I use? Well, I just use a very simple camera, built-in mic. There's no way of plugging in an extra mic, but it does me okay. You know, some of my videos, you'll see the brewery video, there's a lot of background noise, and yeah, it's quite difficult at some points to tune into what we're talking about, especially if we're walking away from the camera. So one of the things was external mics. Is it worthwhile having a camera with an external mic? Well, yes, it is, if you're doing something like that, especially when there's background noise and wind noise. If you've got a small microphone here, cuts all that shit out. It's good. Well, it doesn't cut all of it out, but it cuts the majority of it out, which is good. But personally, I believe the best thing you can do if you're making videos is have a proper light system. I don't know if you can see in the background here, you might be able to see a shadow, or maybe a couple of shadows if you've got really good eyes. But at the moment I've got 3 lights on. There's one over there, there's one there, and there's a spotlight right behind the camera, and it's going in my eyes, it's hurting my eyes. But that's why you're not getting a shadow on my face. You get maybe a little bit of shadow. But if I turn some of the lights off, well, hey, shall I turn the light off, see what happens? Give me 1 sec. Have a look at me now. Right, I'll turn this light. This is just the main light in the room off. Boom! There it goes. Can you see I've got, I should have a lot of shadow on this face because the other 2 lights are in that general direction. So over here, it's sort of bad. So I've got this light coming down on the top of my head just to fill in. There you go, can you see the difference? So what I was thinking was, get a 3-point light system. Do a search on YouTube for 3-point lights. Basically you have one light high up, and it's usually behind actually, but it's got to be above the range of the camera, i.e. out of shot, coming down on your head, and then you have one light at 45 degrees and another light at another 45 degrees. One's the main light, one's the fill light. 3-point lighting. You can buy those systems pretty cheap, and I've tried to recreate it with the lights I've got in this room. Pardon me. And it works quite well for when I'm doing the close-up shots. Whoa, extreme close-up! But if I'm doing work from afar, I find that I have to do it using the daylight, and I have to film near a window or something like that. So that's a shout to you guys from Homebrew Land, who, you know, we're all cinematographers. Hey, and I managed to say that after a beer. We're all filmmakers, so, you know, have you got any secrets that you use? What do you use to make your videos? Some people use a camera. I started off using my camera on my phone, and we all use a camera, that's given. What other things do you use? Do you use a microphone? Do you use extra lighting? It's all helpful. We got to share the wealth with everyone on on Brew UK channel or Brew Tube. Fucking hell, this stuff is actually affecting me. 2.5 years in the pipe and it's still got alcohol in it. Come on, motherfucker. Anyway, guys, I hope you're feeling as good as me, and we'll see you real soon. If not next week, make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. Makes a difference. Click the like button. Give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. If you don't, please give me feedback, because I'll always respond to feedback, yeah? Guys, I'm rambling now. Take care. Peace.